Welcome back, everyone. The second live stream of the day. Hopefully this one is a little bit more successful than the first. Certainly, obviously, after the live event in London has ended. The pressure's off, for me at least. I have some big news to report. The phone is probably going to be going quite wild during the stream as well, because everyone is contacting me. Right, so as many of you will know, because overall the video that I've now put unlisted that we did this afternoon, where we was going to stream the entire Advanced UK live event from London this afternoon. We had two professional teams at the event, both filming and streaming. And guess what? A couple of minutes into the stream, they were both cut. Both live streams were cut. So, look, investigations are taking place, but right now, at this particular moment, we're looking for a reason. And the only reason that we can find is sabotage. Unbelievable. As I say, look, we can't prove that at the moment. We don't know for sure, but for both live streams to go down simultaneously, it's quite unbelievable. Now, before we go any further, I have a special guest that's going to join us right now, and it is the one and only Ben Habib. Ben, good evening.
Hi, good evening, Paul. Am I live?
You are live, my friend. Ben, what a magnificent day, and thank you so much for spending a few moments out of your very busy evening just to say hello to the viewers. What a day. How did you feel?
Not at all. Well, I thought it went very well. I can't judge myself, but the delivery from the other speakers were, I thought, absolutely brilliant. And what was so encouraging, what my takeaways from the day are that we've got some formidable people representing the party already, and we've got some phenomenal support. You know, the entire Manuel Centre was full. And this is from a standing start 6 months ago. To get people flying in, there were people from Canada, Scotland, the Mull of Kintyre, from Dorset, right across the country and internationally who'd come in for this event. That means Advanced UK is making progress. And we're making progress, as I say, with formidable representation as well. The establishment is going to be in for a shock.
Oh, Ben, aren't they just? Ben, I'm looking at the comments flying in here. The praise for you today is being described by many people, including myself, as possibly the best political speech of our time. You are being described as everything from a legend, a hero, our saviour. Ben, I can't tell you the unbelievable response that you have received from that speech this afternoon.
Well, that's very kind. Were you able to watch it live, or were you and your viewers able? I know you were trying to live stream it, but something went wrong with our live stream. I think we were hijacked, weren't we?
Yes, it's very much looking, Ben, it's very much looking like sabotage. But luckily, young Baraka was there. I know you spoke to him today. We did get to see the speech. Obviously, you know, we'll be able to replay it once we get it in better quality because it was filmed. But look, Ben, this is how low these people will stoop to try and stop us, right?
I know. They will, yeah. They're doing everything. Ben,
they're frightened of us and they're frightened of you because your message, Ben, I tell you what that reminded me of this afternoon. It reminded of one big family getting together in their home, discussing how great their future was going to be. And boy, oh boy, if this nation ever needed a lift, I think you gave it to them this afternoon.
Well, thank you. You know, people keep saying to me, it's too late. The horse has bolted. We can't save the country. But actually, I hope what I did today was actually reveal in some fairly simple, straightforward steps. A lot of the damage that's been done can be reversed very, very quickly. We just need the British people to get behind it, and it will happen.
Absolutely. Ben, listen, I know how busy you are, and I'm so grateful for you for hopping on, because I know you've got a dinner to attend and everything else. So I'm going to let you go.
Not at all.
The viewers
Thank
are
you,
just,
Paul.
you know, the viewers, I can tell you now, Ben, if you could only see what they're saying, I'm sure you'd be as proud as I am. Ben, have a lovely evening, my friend, and thank you so much.
Paul.
All
Thank
the
you
best,
for
Ben.
everything you're doing. Yeah,
Thank you.
All the best.
Bye-bye. 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 There you go, ladies and gents. That is the one and only Ben Habib. And we're going to, let's have a little look. Let's see if we can bring another guest in. Where are we? Why can't I see him? There he is. AY.
Hello, Mr. Paul.
How you doing, my friend? You okay?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you, sir.
Good, good. It looks like it's wet and windy and raining.
Do you know what? I wonder if you could tell where I am, and I thought it would be quite... Hold on. Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, here we are. I wonder if you could tell where I was. Yeah?
Well, Ben, it looks to me like you're getting Ben's new house ready.
Maybe. Yeah. I thought, how fitting, as I just come from the Advanced UK conference, yeah, that I was having some food and I see you and I thought, God, look where I am. Yeah, and I thought, crikey. Yeah.
Oh, mate, that's unbelievable.
And I thought it was quite fitting.
It's a brilliant setting. What setting could be better than outside, well, which is currently the Traitors property, but hopefully we're going to have a new resident in a few years' time. Mate, listen, you've been at the event all day today.
Yeah.
What did you make of it, and what is your thoughts? How have you come away feeling from that today?
Look, yeah, we can only hope. Yeah. There's some stuff that I agree with, and there's some stuff that I would like questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's questions I'd like to ask, and I'm sure that a lot of people, you know, would come away with some questions and would like to get answers. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, and that's what the college is there for. It's there to represent everyone.
Yeah, I just, you know, it's but like a lot, I think we can agree. So, typical London, we get the blue sirens going. Yeah. It can't be London without it. But look, you can agree with a lot, yeah, with all the different parties. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Whoever's actually going to have the balls to actually follow through in what they say, yeah.
Yeah.
What I listened to and how the geezer spoke, first time I've ever listened, right, to be honest with you. And yeah, you know, I can see him doing it if he gets elected, but we'll have to wait and see, won't we?
That's the big battle. Them blue lights, mate, I hope they're not for you.
No. Well,
can you do me a favour? Son, can you do me a favour? do your granddad a favour. Can you please, can you stop getting nicked?
The only reason why he's saying this, people, yeah, there's only one reason he's saying this. It's because he can't keep affording the bail money. Yeah, there's too much bail money on the line.
We can do without you getting put away. Tell me about outside.
I will just say this, yeah. Listen, all jokes aside and stuff, yeah. I have not been charged with any crime. I'm on police bail, yeah. The only crime I've been charged with is breach of a community protection notice that doesn't exist. To this day, I've never been issued with any paperwork to say that I'm barred from anywhere, yeah? I've never ever been issued with this paperwork. We're going to court to prove it. Anything else is just police bail, yeah? Just to keep giving me conditions to keep me barred from certain areas, yeah?
Yeah.
That's all that is, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Like every time I go to the police station and get interviewed, it costs me £250.
Yeah, the punishment is the process, right? The punishment is the process, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about outside today. Was there much of a loony left presence?
So it started off with about 20 to 30 maximum, and then as it got on a little bit, they grew up to about numbers of 50 max. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the telling thing was, after 2 hours,
Go on.
they
What
was
did
gone.
they
Yeah.
they went.
They actually waited an hour and 50 minutes because it took them 10 minutes to walk back to the station. Yeah. So they had to leave. Now, bearing in mind, look, all I kept hearing was all these slogans, same rubbish I've heard all along. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Mate, you know what? All people want, these people, like, all we want is just a safer society and a better community. Yeah. That's all people are after. Do you know what I mean? And that
Yeah.
was evident even with today.
What a great bunch of people the advanced UK people are. Yeah, that's my opinion, but what's yours? How did you find them?
Do you know what? Listen, a lot of them, I'm not going to, they watch my content. Yeah, they, a lot of them are probably watching now. Yeah. I was quite chuffed to see you up on the big screen. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people was as well.
I got a little bit of a round of applause. I did get a bit of a round, so I was quite happy with that.
Mate, do you know what? It was, so I've always been made more than welcome, by people. Do you know what I mean? Within that movement, and I'll always be grateful for that. I'll be grateful for the support. I'll always be grateful for that, and it's just where we've ended up, I suppose, isn't it?
It is.
I'll also say, like I've said all along, we are a long way out, and for me, to now in the coffin and say I go with this one, it's going to take a lot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I get that. I totally get that, mate. I totally get it.
We've been let down so many times, Paul. Do you know what I mean?
We have. And do you know what, mate? I think that is why people are so sick of everything. But, all I can say, as an advanced member, is that I believe in Ben. I believe every single word that Ben says. I believe that he means it. Look, whether we can achieve it or not, whether we can reach our goal, that's another thing. But we can only do that if we all do it together and people get behind him. We put this reform, this pretend party to one side and go with a man, go with a leader who genuinely loves the people. And, that is the way that I feel, and nothing will change my mind.
Yeah, I think you've had a lot more personal dealings maybe and spoken, do you know what I mean? And I think when I say about the trust with the public and stuff, it goes back, we've been cheated on so many times by these politicians.
Yeah.
And it's like if you was in a relationship and you was cheated on, you would never have trust for any of them, would you?
Exactly. And that, mate, that is why I left. I stopped supporting reform. Is because they did just that. They let us down.
They've all let us down. All reform is just a bunch of ex-conservatives.
Yeah, all the parties have let us down. It's time for something new. It's time to drain the swamp.
Yeah,
and
I agree with that.
Time to drain the swamp and get some proper people in charge. And let's change our country for the better. What are you up to for the rest of the evening now?
I'm looking at Big Ben.
What a beautiful sight. Yeah.
Look at that. There's Parliament over there. So I just walked down. You've got the famous red phone boxes just over there where people queue up to get their picture. Yeah.
You're making me feel homesick, mate, but not the weather, but...
You know what? Yeah, I wanted to show you as well. Do you know what I mean? Because I know, having spent time with you out in Spain and that you see that there, yeah? You do miss it, yeah? And I don't know, me bringing you down here as well, not only does it pulls a little bit maybe at your heartstrings, but also it shows you as well, what you're actually sitting in Spain, what you're actually fighting for as well, yeah?
Yeah. I'll never forget what we're fighting for, brother, and I appreciate that. And you're absolutely right. It does. It does make me feel homesick, but it's worth the fight. It's worth the battle.
And that's what you need to remember, yeah?
It's worth the battle. Mate, thank you so much. Thanks so much for popping on, mate. I really,
problem,
really
yeah.
appreciate it. Are you going live yourself later?
No, I'm going to be going home. I'm going to go into the tube, Westminster Station, and then I'm going to sit down and go home.
God bless you, mate. Thanks so much for hopping on. Really appreciate it. All the viewers, take care, mate. Bye-bye. 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 There you go. There's AY. Nice of him to pop on. I'm going to be opening up the stream again this evening for you guys to come on and have your say. I'm trying to find the where are we? I'm trying to find the right there we go. That's the one I'm looking for, I think. Is that the one I'm looking for? That's the one I'm looking for. Let's get the comments back up on the show. There we go. 1 second. Let me just make that a little bit larger. Right. So we will be inviting viewers on to the stream again tonight. I'll pop the link into the chat in a moment. I particularly like to hear from people who were either at the event today or first timers. I'd love to have people on tonight that have never been on before. I won't be showing your face. It'll just be your voice. We've got 1,600 people almost watching. The link is in the chat. Let's have a little look, see what I can see in the chat. And we're going to be discussing some of the things that were spoken about this afternoon. Hi, Paul. I was there. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, John. If anyone was at the event today, the link is in the chat. Hop on, say hello, tell us about your experience, tell us about the good bits. If there was any bad bits, let us know. We will discuss. And I've got a long list here of some of the things that Ben spoke about. Obviously, we've now got what Ben calls the draft policy. But that will be evolving over time. All of our policies will evolve over time as we reach or as we head towards the next general election, so that they can evolve and get better and better and better until the time comes along where the manifesto is produced, and hopefully that manifesto will be as close to perfect as possible. And I would remind anyone that's watching tonight that I'm not an official representative for Advance UK. I am a member, I'm on the college, but I don't officially speak for the party in this capacity. This is my own channel, my own live stream. I am more than open to questions, criticisms, as long as they're fair, decent. I will answer whatever I can for you. We'll go through some of the bits and pieces that Ben spoke about this afternoon. And it was a very impassioned speech, wasn't it? I mean, he brought the house down in many respects. You know, there were more standing ovations for Ben this afternoon than I think I've ever seen for any party political leader. The crowd were actually, you know, it was almost like a sort of a pop concert in some respects. You know, the crowd were very much up for Ben's speech, and there was obviously some other good speakers there as well. With the exception of myself. He spoke about morality, customs and behaviours, all big points. He spoke about promising not to let the country down, not to let the public down. He spoke about the importance of recognising the working class. I mean, this was the most, for me at least, this was the most down-to-earth, feet on the ground, sensible, all-round, the best all-round political speech I've probably ever heard in my lifetime. So apparently Baraka and young Bob have got lost in London. Yeah, Jeffrey says everything about one's character. Gordon Brown said Keir Starmer is a man of integrity. Yeah, I'm absolutely sure. Let me just move that off there. Charlie, good evening, Charlie. Are you there?
Hello, Paul. How are you, mate?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you, Charlie. What are you up to?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just relaxing. I watched the advanced thing earlier. As you know, I've put a lot of super chats in the past on your live, and
Thank you very
I
much.
am I'm a Nigel Farage fan.
Yeah.
Now the only thing I'm worried about with advanced is obviously you've got the by-election in Gorton and Denton as well, and I'm just
Yeah.
worried that this splitting of the right vote is going to cost us in the long run because, again, it's all good. Obviously, Ben Habib is a good guy from what I know as well, and he's a good guy. And I just feel like what we need, instead of splitting the vote, we need to get a reform advance pact together to fight for this country because this country's in trouble. Everyone knows it.
Charlie, look, Charlie, first of all, thank you so much for coming on. What a great question. What a great way of putting it. And do you know what, Charlie? I agree with you 100%. The problem is, Charlie, and look, mate, you're not on here now to agree with me. We can have a friendly back and forth, and whatever happens, we're going to part friends, right? Because that's what it's all about, yeah? Here's the deal. Here's the problem, Charlie. Ben at Vance and us lot are not the problem here. It's your man, Nigel Farage, that refuses to get involved with us. Now, I agree with you. I think every single advanced member in the country would probably agree with you. The only person that doesn't agree with you, I'm afraid, is your man. And that's the problem. And with Gorton and Denton, Charlie, here's the deal, and Ben spoke about it earlier on, and he's so right, and other people have spoken about it as well. This is not going to define the next, this is not going to define the country. It's not going to define the next general election. But what it will do, if we could bring the underdog coming on the outside, if we could bring a victory for Nick Buckley, for Ben Habib and Advance UK, and for all of us lot, this will be a victory for the real working class, the real patriots of this country. And, look, Charlie, if there was a general election next week, I'll whisper it very quietly, we would all have to think seriously we'd all have to think very seriously about who we vote for.
Yeah, I get you. And I think this next election, in my opinion, and all due respect, I just think it's about getting the woke left out. That's what it's about for me anyway. And I think if it is like it is at the moment, whenever the election is going to be, I mean, Starmer's in trouble at the moment. I mean, I can't see Labour lasting another 2 years, but I just think we've got to do whatever it takes to get, Labour out. And I think I heard you the other day, or one of the people on your show, that was saying, vote tactically in your area, but so if it's your likelihood of the Greens or Lib Dem, you vote Lib Dem to make sure the Greens don't get in. I just think we need to do whatever is necessary to get our country back, and it is scary. I mean, my mum's gone out tonight, and I get anxious about her going out in case anything happens. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
no, Charlie, I agree. And do you know what, Charlie? This sort of call breaks my heart because we're on the same side.
Yeah.
And the problem is, I believe that 99% of reform voters and advanced voters are on the same side.
Yeah.
The problem is, that figure's probably getting lower with reform because they are attracting a lot of former Tories. They're attracting.
Yeah, no, I get that. 100%.
You get that, So, but what we really need is we need a people's party that actually loves the people and not the power.
Yeah.
And, my God, if I had one last wish in my life, it would be to see a government in power that cares about you, that cares about your mum, that cares about my kids, that cares about all of us. And ain't just in this for a career and to fill their own goddamn pockets or join the local paedophile ring. We need some honest people, some honest souls.
100%. And really also, another thing I was going to say as well is that one thing that as well is because every single government that before an election they say they're going to, because I'm disabled, I'm in a wheelchair, so they say they're going to fight for people like me, they're going to make sure that we're all right, and then every single government when they get in they slash the welfare budget. We're the ones that get absolutely slammed upon. And one thing I would like to know, will Advance represent disabled people like myself and people that struggle in their day-to-day life? Because, I do struggle, and as you know, cost of living isn't easy at the moment either. It's really difficult.
Charlie, let me tell you something. I'm on the
Yeah.
College of Advanced UK. I cannot make changes alone, and I cannot. I don't write policy, but what I can do is have an influence on the people. And let me tell you now, I give you my word, I promise you on behalf of myself, and I believe all the other members of the college, people like yourself who genuinely need help, you will get more help under an advanced government than any other government in history. Because we know who the right, we know the difference between right and wrong. We know the difference between genuine, and we know the difference between piss taking, and we want and we can differentiate quite clearly between the two.
Yeah.
So I can categorically say to you 100% that I will be fighting for people like yourself till my last breath, because that is the right thing to do.
Yeah, no, and do you know what? Like, I do appreciate that, and I just think people like myself don't have a voice, and we need. I feel like any party should have like an ambassador for disabled people as well.
100%, 100%, 100%.
I don't feel like we have a voice. You know, we just get told what we get told, and we have to put up with it. And I think it's wrong. You know. And
sorry, kind of cross you there, slight delay. Let me tell you some of the things that I have on my mind, and I know that other people have on their mind as well. Is I believe that every town, every small town, every week should have coaches leaving to take the disabled, the elderly, the widowed on trips. There should be local events held. You know, the local halls should be used for community activities. Get the old age pensioners out of their homes, give them something to live for, give the disabled people something to look forward to. The ones that are stuck indoors, stuck at home, can't get out, don't get any fresh air, let's give them some care. We can send doctors and nurses from the NHS to asylum seeking hotels and hostels. Why can't we send them to local communities?
Yeah, I get you 100%. Yeah, no, I think that's something we need to fight for together. You know, and
absolutely.
That's all we can do is get together now. And I just think, in a way, it's just I'm just scared of a split between advanced supporters and reform supporters, because you know there's going to be those that are going to stick with reform at the minute, because and I've said to you, the only reason is because I'm looking at it realistically.
Yes,
and
I understand.
when you look at advance, and you know you've not got any councils, barely any councillors, you've not got any branches set up yet. We need to be realistic, and if we want to get I mean, you looked at Runcorn and Helsby. I mean, that came down to 6 votes with Sarah Poachin that gained it. You know, and every single vote in the next election is going to count of whether, reform might not get our country back. They might not do everything correct, but I think they will do some things correct.
They will do some things correct, but I'm not sure they'll be doing enough. But I'll give you another little scenario, Charlie, and then I'll be moving on to my next guest, because I've got people waiting. Brilliant call, by the way. Brilliant call. Thanks so much. I mean, look, let's just consider the possibility that reform could miss out on Denton and Galton Denton. Let's say they missed out by half a dozen votes that went to Advance UK. Well, you know what? I think that would be a good thing, and I'll tell you why. Because it would give Nigel Farage the biggest kick up his arse that he absolutely thoroughly needs to shift him and reform, not only to shift them to the right, but to tell these people that we don't want this split. We want to be together. The public wants unity.
Yeah,
we don't care about Nigel Farage's bloody ego. We don't care about Richard Tice's ego. We don't care about Danny Kruger's. Oh, we're definitely not going to get involved with that lot. We want to be British people in the United Kingdom, 4 nations, united under one flag, and we want to be united, and we want to do it together. The only man that's stopping that right now is Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage, shame on you. We're here, ready, willing, waiting. Ben Habib, you had one of the best men in the country at your side, and you made it impossible for him. Why?
Yeah, and again, this is, I mean, if I ever met Nigel, I would tell him you need to do a pact with Advance. That's one thing I would say to him. Join Ben Habib, because it's stupid. It's stupid.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Do you know what, Charlie? I bet if you went out and spoke to a large group of politically informed people on our side, if you said to them, who are the best 2 politicians that you trust in the UK right now, the answer will be Ben Habib and Rupert Lowe. And Nigel Farage has got rid of them both.
Yeah, I know, and
it's insane. It's insane.
It is, but I just want to thank you for letting me come up and have my say anyway, mate. And
my pleasure. My pleasure. You are always welcome.
I'll come up again soon, mate. Thank you very much.
Anytime.
Thank you,
Thank you. Have a good evening. Right. Before we move on to our next guest, I've got someone that you will all know who is going to join me and is going to help me through this evening by the looks of it. It's the one and only Richard. Richard, good evening, my friend.
How you doing, mate? How are you there, Paul? All right?
I am buzzing. Richard, if you don't mind, I'll just take these. I'm just going to take these people who have been sitting in the green room for a while. Let me just remove
go for it,
1 second. Let me just remove the comments. Rodney, how you doing, Rodney?
Yeah, I'm fine. Can you hear me, mate?
Oh, I can hear you, mate. Do you want me to turn the camera off? Would you be happy with that, or are you okay with the camera on?
I'm fine either way.
How you doing? What's your thoughts after the day? Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. I was up there at the event this fine day, and I must admit the atmosphere is absolutely electric. It was brilliant.
Good. Did you say?
Go on.
No, I was going to say, yeah, give me your thoughts on the event all round. What did you think of Ben? What did you think of the other speakers? Positives, negatives?
Before Ben, there were 2 or 3 candidates that were there, and the room was so electric. There were standing ovations all the time. They really put a really good emphasis into the people and the people listening. And I must admit, the people that I met were just excellent people. They were all like us, just normal, everyday people. So yeah, I really enjoyed the event.
A party for normal people. What a crazy thing, Richard, eh? A party for normal people. Can you imagine it?
Well, I tell you what. I mean, do you know what? I'm coming in, and not just the curtain is green. I'm coming in this quite green because I've only seen. I was doing my own thing earlier, and of course I had some stuff coming through from Jeff. So incredible speech and all that. I'm okay. I'll get on with that now. And then I sort of eventually started catching up, right? And do you know what? I had to stop. I was literally in tears. I was like, I am here. The things he was saying, honestly, just things about. Do you know what got me? Christmas, when he said he'd be encouraging councils. Just the little thing. I thought, just for one moment, as you said, this is for the people. This is actually a political party for the people. And I had to stop listening to what he was saying at one point. I thought, I can't do this. I have to have a day to absorb this because the significance of this cannot be understated. Right?
Absolutely.
So you've got a politician right now who's talking sense. Now, I know we've always said, it's nice to hear a politician talking sense, X, Y, and Z. Yeah. But when you actually get a politician talking real sense, it stands out. You realise all the others weren't hardly talking sense at all. Granted, Rupert Lowe and a few others have done so. Farage has said 1 or 2 things that you go, yeah, I agree with, but that's it. It's not coming from a place of genuine appreciation of British culture and what it means to be British. And that's the difference.
Yeah, major difference. Let me welcome Howie onto the show. Howie, good evening, my friend. How are you?
Hello, chaps. How you doing? You all okay?
All very good, mate. How you looking? Well, how you doing? What's on your mind, mate?
Well, like I said, this is the first time I'm on any live stream on anything on YouTube, so I'm a little bit nervous. Give me
don't be nervous. You're amongst friends and no one's watching, don't
Yeah. I'm in 2 minds about Farage. He just feels like he's manipulated his entire audience. There were so many people that had such huge faith in him, and then obviously as everything come out with Richard Tice saying referring to us as you lot and everything, I thought that would have been like sort of the push for people to say, you know what, F you, we're gonna find an alternative, and it has happened for a lot of people, including myself. I've said I've been like, you know what, this guy ain't worth my time. He ain't worth my vote. And all the talk of splitting the vote as well. I mean, what's your take on that, Paul and Richard? Splitting the vote because we're going for advance. Is that something that you guys agree with, or?
Well, as I can only really repeat what I said a minute ago. At the moment, there's no vote to split, and not even at the next, not even in the Gorton and Denton by-election. Because to be honest with you, it doesn't actually really matter who wins that general election. It's not going to change our lives. It's not going to change the country. But what would matter is what would give this government the biggest fright of its goddamn life, what would give Reform the biggest goddamn kick up the backside that it needs, what would give Nigel Farage the biggest kick up the backside that he needs, is for Vance was to come on the inside and nick that local election. It would just be seismic for the entire British establishment and for politics in the United Kingdom. Richard, what do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, okay, it's actually... I would even go further than that. I would actually go as far as to say, part of me would like, and please forgive me, some of you are going to hate me for saying this, but I've got to say it. You know, but part of me would love for if Advance weren't to take it, I would have no problem with Reform losing that seat. Because as you said,
I said the same thing, yeah.
We need that kick up the backside. They need a kick up the backside to realise that they have to start representing the British people fully. Granted, they got some okay policies. And if you've got a gun to my head and you're going to say, who are you going to vote for? Labour and the Tories, the Unity Party, or Reform? I'm going to say Reform, okay? That's it. But, this is a by-election in particular, and the importance of this by-election is to send a message to Reform and to everybody else to say, look, there is a political party that is emerging that will take on everybody else. They have the ability. And, you know, just listening to today, I mean, yeah, I wasn't there, but I saw some of the footage from the room, okay? And do you know what? It was almost like, from what I wasn't there, but I mean, from what I could gather, it was almost like a sense of joy. There was like, what is this? Oh, I know what this is. It's called optimism. Optimism.
Something
when
we've forgotten
did you
about.
last feel that? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking for you on the live, Richard. We saw John there, and we were having a little look for you. We were playing hide and seek and having a look. But no, it's. I'll just hope to God that we can get through this, and with everything that's happening with immigration and that, it really needs to be tackled. I mean, I've said it before to so many of my friends. I get so stressed out by it all. I know it shouldn't let us affect our lives, but it does.
Of course,
it's all easy saying that we can't let it affect us, but it does.
It does, and we spoke about this last night. We spoke. Oh, we've lost Rodney. Thank you, Rodney, for coming on. By the way, my friend, appreciate that. You know, this is the thing, Howie. The bottom line is, I spoke about this in the live stream. I think it was only last night. Keir Starmer and the Labour government have affected the mental health of a nation. What we have here, we have a nation in mourning for what it's lost. We've lost our identity. You know, we've lost the soul. We've lost our soul. Our children haven't got a future. They don't know who they belong to. They don't know where they come from. They haven't got an identity. Everything has been stolen from us, and we are a nation in a mental health crisis. But Advance UK, for me, is the remedy, is the cure for that depression, because it gives people a home, just like people watching this right now who tell me all the time, and I'm sure that Richard gets it on with the brilliant Jeff. You know, Jeff is one of my favourite YouTubers of all time. It's getting to the point where my wife is getting a bit too heavy with Jeff's My Teddy Bear stuff, but we'll talk about that one another day. But listen, people tell us all the time, and I know Richard and Jeff will get it all the time, we give them a place to feel like they're not alone. And now Advance has given the people a place so that they don't feel alone. And here's the deal. People keep saying to me, Paul, you know what, be realistic about reform, etc. No, I'm not having none of it. I cannot trust people who are proven liars, who are importing proven failures, habitual failures, who have done it wrong time and time and time again. when they had the goddamn chance to put it right for the people, not only did they fail, they turned their back on us. So I'm not having none of it. This is our home. This is our place. This is our political party, and that's the way it's going to stay for me, at least. Richard, what would you add to that?
I agree 100%. Very much along the lines as well, what you said there about it being a home for people. You see, this is a very strong thing that we have lost. We can talk in abstract terms about the Britain that was, what we remember as kids, how it used to be. But when you use the word home, oh, hang on a second. Yeah. Oh, is that what Britain is? Is that my home? Yeah. Wow, hang on. I forgot that. Sorry. Here I was trying to accommodate every other kind of belief system and culture from around planet Earth, and I completely forgot that I was actually in my own home. That's how it feels, and I get, it's like today I got just incredibly emotional by the whole thing. I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, the things you're saying about Christianity, the importance of it, that this is not just a second thing that you have to wheel out Danny Kruger to talk about. Do you know what I mean? Almost, this is central. This is the party leader saying this, you know, and bringing it forward. I was very, very positive about it. All I want, right, to be honest with you, is my country back, okay? And I don't even know what that'll look like. In fact, let's go further. Let's say more than I want my country back. I want it better than it ever was before. I want to... Let's take a look at what didn't work in the past. And let's have a think for a moment what would work very much in the future by taking all the best bits that we had and say, right, well, we can't even do that because everything's relative these days. Everything, there's no good and bad. It's just what some people like and what some people don't like. And, it's just a matter of taste and preference. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. There is more to it. There is more to take. Britain has so much more meaning, and the foundation is in Christianity. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter if you're Christian or not. For me, because in terms of whether you believe that, because it's just true.
It's still the foundation.
Yeah, exactly. It is the foundation. It was that. And what I do say to people, though, is it is one thing to have our Christian heritage, but there's another thing which is more important. We have to realize, put ourselves in the mindsets of the people who built those beautiful cathedrals. If you look at our architecture from years ago, this is way beyond anything we're producing today. Way beyond. What inspired those people? What was in their minds? What was in their hearts? I can tell you what was there. They were God-fearing people, and they believed. They believed.
They were proud, and they were building the greatest nation on earth.
Yes.
Howie, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I tell you what, mate, for your first effort, you did all right. I got to tell you.
No worries. Thanks, chaps.
All the best, brother.
Mate.
Have a lovely rest of your weekend. That's absolutely fabulous. Let me just have a little move around of me bits and bobs there. There you go. That's better. Let's have a little look at some of the things that Ben spoke about. I'm actually still going through some of them. There's so much to go through, but he talked about a shared life vision. And Ben said, I am your family. And you know what? The guy bloody means it. That's the thing, Richard. He really means this. What a beautiful thing. Yeah, he said, you are my family and I am yours. It's a real heartfelt, it literally was tear-jerking stuff, honestly. Even if you don't like advance, even if you are a die-on-the-wall reform supporter, Ben's speech, if it didn't give you a lump in your throat, then there's something wrong with it. He spoke about the people owing the country something just for being a citizen. We are citizens of the greatest country on earth, and we owe that country something. It's not all about take, it's what can we give back to it.
Yeah. I mean, what was interesting, and this is the other side of it, so far I've listened to various political leaders, and they have been focusing on the negative, right? This is wrong with the country. That's wrong with the country. It's like, yeah, we know. We're living here. Thank you very much for that one. You know, that's it. We know exactly what's going on here. We know that it's turned into a pile of you know what. So where's the positive vision then? Haven't had one until today. I've got to say, no, I will give Nick Tanconi his due as well. He's done some marvellous stuff, and I got a lot of time for Nick and what he says, and that I think he's a very important person moving forward in this country. But right now, let's focus on, I'm just focusing today on Advance, and just to have that positive injection into politics. I mean, since Starmer's got in, it's been like, oh my gosh. Right, I'll give you an example, right? I went out to live in Australia for a while, and when I came back, I noticed that it was very different. And it was like, I didn't call it the United Kingdom, I called it the United Come Down, right? Because that's what it felt like. I thought, what's happened here? Why is it so, oh my days, you know, and that's the feeling here. It's just this feeling of a one big, huge negative dirge over us. And since Starmer's got in,
well,
it's comical.
And there could be worse to come. I mean, we could be in for the Benny Hill show, couldn't we, if Lammy was to get the job, God forbid. I mean, that actually might lift the mood of the nation because, you know, if you didn't cry, you got to laugh, haven't you, you know. But, I mean, look, Ben spoke about, let's have a look, abolishing the Equality Act. He spoke about abolishing hate speech laws, terminating the withdrawal agreement with the EU, to stand by the people of Northern Ireland as well. Obviously, that's really important. He spoke about being constitutionally a Christian country, that you've got to swear on the Bible when you enter the big house, reinforcing Christian heritage and prohibiting the takeover of churches and conversion into mosques, etc. No Sharia courts in the UK, no foreign courts whatsoever in the UK. He spoke about, you know, small things as well as big things like mandatory flying of our beautiful flag over every public building. I mean, that's just common sense, is it not?
Yeah, totally.
This is where we live. This is our home. It's the flag of our nation.
Yeah, it's just mind blowing. Let me tell you the truth here. Years ago, right, I was captured myself to a certain extent by, I sort of, you know, grew up from what I was hearing from the social circle I was in, that, you know, Britain's this, Britain's that. And I thought, oh, yeah, maybe you're right. I was a bit of a rebellious young man, and I bought into it. And for a very brief period, it didn't last long. And when I came out of it the other side, I was like, wow, this is, there's something going throughout our institutions. It's completely brainwashing people, especially the young. You know, it's like I haven't spoken to a family member of mine, one of my children, in over 11 years now, because of this brainwashing that family member went through in university. And, you know, it rips my heart out. It does. It's one of the most painful things I've ever experienced. And that though has added fuel to my fire, to be honest with you, against this, because I know what these people are up to.
Can I say it for you? We know what these bastards are up to. Let me say it for you, mate. Because I tell you what, Jeff. I tell you what, Richard. They split my family up as well, and I'll never forgive them. Never ever forgive them for that. Never ever forgive them. Yeah. Let's talk about. I mean, he spoke about. Where are we? He spoke about the curriculum and the need to, teach our children to be proud. He spoke about inheritance tax being evil. He spoke about protecting the family. Protecting farmers, protecting and rewarding our veterans. I mean, it was just a speech that went above and beyond anything that I think we could have hoped for. The full policies, and this is the interesting part as well, and Ben kind of has very cleverly kind of dropped this on all of us as a bit of a surprise. This policy that I was under the understanding personally that this was the final document. But the bombshell that Ben has dropped, and I think it's just such an amazing way of doing it, is that no, this is still only a draft policy that will evolve into what we believe is perfection by the time the next general comes around, and we need a proper manifesto. Now, You know, this is something else that political parties have not been prepared to do. They write a policy, they stick with it. Even when it becomes outdated, they stick with it. They mess it up left, right, and centre, and then blame everyone else. But this is different. Again, this is new politics. This is saying, look, we don't know it all just yet. Let's wait and see. Let's see what happens. We might need to tweak this. We might need to tweak that. Already, one of the small criticisms that I saw that has come through from a couple of people is Ben saying that he wants to end dual nationality. Now, there's been one or two people saying, well, my son's got this passport as well as a British passport, etc. Now, that may well be something that us in the college will need to go back to Ben to and say, you know what, Ben, maybe that needs a tweak here and there. And this is what...
Yeah, totally. I mean, why not? What's wrong with... I mean, this is what is called being adult. And that's what you just said is perfect, because it's about saying, right, okay, maybe the majority of people with dual nationalities, with dual passports, it doesn't work. It's not a great thing. However, there is nuance in this world. And as soon as we start growing up, when you're younger, it's much more black and white. This is it. That's that. That's the way the world is. No. You have to have lived a life to realize that there's far more to it than that. Yeah. And that's the beauty of this, as you said, take it to the college and speak to Ben, say, is this fully the correct approach to take? Sorry, it's just something that just jumped into my mind. You see, I believe that there really could be a general election coming the way things are looking for Starmer. I believe personally that the next Prime Minister will be the Home Secretary at the moment, Shabana Mahmood. I really do think that's the most likely outcome. Yeah.
Is there any rope around? I'm looking to find a bit of rope somewhere.
Exactly. It's not looking good, mate. It's not looking good. But at the same time, you think, well, all right, well, if that's coming, then, and there's an election coming, then is Advance going to be ready if it was in a few weeks' time?
No.
Or in a few months' time?
No. The answer's no.
Exactly. Actually, I'm glad in a way, because it's not glad in the way that they're not ready, but I'm sort of thinking a general election now would be great, because it would mean, okay, if reform gets in, it will give us an incremental improvement. Things won't be probably as catastrophic, but what it does mean is that from that point in, the starting gun is fired, and the next general election is coming much closer. And that's when the push for Advance, that's when things could really change. Yeah. So I think that it's, in terms of splitting vote, going back to that concept about a splitting a vote, it depends where it is. And again, there's a few nuances there and caveats. There could be a potential for a vote split, but it depends when it is. Is Advance going to be realistically anywhere near ready to win an election, or at least win a few seats at that point in time? And all these things have to be factored. Ben knows this as well. I mean, I can't imagine Ben would be wanting this country to go with anything worse than it currently is. No. And I'm sure he would appraise the situation accordingly, because he is a gentleman with a brain and can see through this. He's been doing this for a while now. Not that he's a long-seasoned politician, because he isn't compared to many. He didn't come in, he's not first. He wasn't first and foremost a politician, but my God, we now have one of the finest politicians this country has ever produced.
Absolutely, we do indeed, absolutely. And we're very, very, very lucky to have him. Going back to that dual nationality thing for a moment, I mean, we obviously know what that is aimed at. It's fairly obvious what it's aimed at, but we also have to recognise that there are people out there. For example, I've got friends here in Spain whose parents have Anglo parents, so the mum might be English, the dad might be Spanish, or vice versa, and they've got dual nationality. Now, I personally have no problem with that, but we know about the dual nationality problems that were predominantly that we're talking about. He spoke about banning the burqa as well, which is obviously a big bone of contention for many people, and how he feels that this is a misogynistic sort of downtreading of women. Let's have a look.
Absolutely,
looking at the notes here. Yeah. Yeah, I just thought that the speech was absolutely brilliant. I want to get Ben on next week. I mean, I was very lucky to grab him for 5 minutes tonight. I didn't want to keep him. I don't know if did you hear him, Richard, or did you come in after that?
I came in after me. I've had a bit of a flat out day myself, so unfortunately,
yeah, no worries.
I feel really guilty because this is a really important day, and I've been so many other things going on. Everything has to go on the back burner. Unfortunately, I'm trying to play catch up now. I am.
There's only one Ben Habib. Thank you, Visual UK. Let's get through one or two of the supers there. Charlie, Paul, are the policies from Advance on the website? Not sure if the website's been updated yet. We'll have to have a little look on that. Debbie, thank you. Great Advance UK event. Watched it all on Baraka. Yes, massive credit to Baraka this afternoon. He very, very kindly offered us all to stream his stream via our channels. I just didn't feel that was fair. Baraka deserved the traffic, and I cordially sent everyone over to his channel. But well done, Baraka. Nina, thank you, Nina. Hi, my lovely. I was there today. Was brilliant. Great, Nina. Hope you enjoyed it. The atmosphere looks amazing. Debbie, well said, Paul. A great ambassador for Advance UK. I hope so. I'll do my best. Ish, thank you. As a disabled person, your answer was just amazing. Thank you very much, Ish. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart, because I've always said the mark of a truly great nation is how it looks after its young, its elderly, and it's sick. Not saying that disabled people are necessarily sick, but they need obviously help. It's not that they're not well, they have a disability, and we need to take care of them, don't we? Because those people are less fortunate than ourselves. Nina, when we arrived, the lefties were there. When we all came out for a break, they were gone. More of us than them. Well, their meter had run out, hadn't it? That's the thing. That's the
actually,
bottom line.
I have heard that the lefties outside were somehow trying to jam the signal of streaming or something. I have heard.
Well, we are looking into that. Charlie Kelly, big love, Paul. Thanks for letting me on again. No problem at all, Charlie. Absolute pleasure. You was a brilliant guest, by the way. Yeah, I mean, the latest on that, Richard, is it does look like there was sabotage has taken place. Because what we had there earlier on, this is really interesting, and we don't know the finances of it yet. It's being investigated as I speak. But we had two separate professional broadcasters broadcasting that event live. Now, initially they was only going to go with one, but they learnt the lesson from, I think it was Manchester, and thought, no, you know what, we'll get two. Mate, the stream on both streams went down after something like 5 minutes at precisely the same time. Now that stinks.
Yeah,
that absolutely stinks.
I did see a few things on Twitter about on X. I thought, okay, I wasn't entirely sure, but that does stink actually. Look, I've seen there's that old saying: once you're over the target, that's when the flak is the hardest. And
yeah,
I mean, we've seen in Wales so many occasions, different things that Advance were trying to do in Wales being cancelled because of attacks by the left. And one thing I am happy about in terms of Reform's doing a good performance was in Ynys in Anglesey. They, I think a councillor just got a Reform councillor just got elected there, and Plaid, and this is a Plaid Cymru heartland. This is like, we're talking about Anglesey. This is the centre of Plaid Cymru in Wales. That part, it's just green all the way.
Yeah.
And for Reform, it just shows, though, I'm glad, because it does show the change of mood and the change of, it's more indicative really of the people's demand for a new type of politics, okay? Whether Reform is that type of politics, that new type of politics or not, is another matter. The fact that people believe it is, and they are looking for change, and many still perceive Reform to be that change, which they are not. However, it says a lot about how people's perception of politics is changing, and especially in places like Wales. I mean, let's see, May could be a very, very interesting time in Wales for politics with the Senedd, the Welsh Assembly elections.
Yeah,
because that could throw a few spanners in the works. We don't know. Plaid there might be coalitions. The left are. They'll do tactical voting. they outmaneuver a lot of the time, not based on their vote share, but on their tactics. Very clever, very clever. Got to give them credit for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Laurie didn't agree with the no dual. I'm going to sneeze in a minute, so if I have to hold on a minute. Bless me. Right. Laurie says, didn't agree with the dual nationality thing, as my kids are dual and it's not fair to be forced to give up their Finnish passport. Laurie, I agree. I will be mentioning that to my Finnish college members, and we'll take that to the leadership. And, I think that that's not going to be a problem. Let's put it that way. We will sort. These are all things that need little bits of ironing out, etc. And we'll deal with them as they come along. Nigel Farage, no mention of the event on the People's Channel. Return Chair David Ball hosting on GB News. Yeah. Disgraceful. Disgraceful.
Yeah.
This is the thing, Nigel Farage. Makes me laugh, that though. Every time I read it. This is the thing. You've got the People's Channel, right? You've got Talk TV, what do they call themselves? I don't know, whatever they call themselves. You've got all these people. You've got Reform pretending to be the party for the people, etc. Well, the People's Channel and the party for the so-called for the people who are very closely linked completely ignore today's event. Not a single word. I wonder why. As Baraka saved the day. Sorry, mate. As Baraka saved the day, for those of us who did not attend, I'm sending him a super. Thank you very much, mate. But you'll have to send it on his channel. Thank you again. Paul, please do inform Ben that 29,000 people have already watched the recording of Baraka's live stream. He was a crucial plan B for your viewers. Do you know what? I tell you something, right? The views were coming through thick and fast all over the place today, and thank you, Jack. It's an absolute travesty that those live streams were cut, and frankly I would call in the police, because this is this is not right. This is interfering with political processes, and surely that has to be illegal.
I mean, I could actually imagine Farage himself outside cutting the wires. Sorry, I don't mean that, Nigel. I don't mean that. No. I know you wouldn't have done that. But it's interesting to the point about GB News, going back to that, though. I mean, not just GB News. I mean, the press in general, with Rupert Lowe's this investigation into the groomers, we'll call them. I want to use a different terminology, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's been and Rupert Lowe himself has said on X, look, we're not getting any coverage on this. This is one of the most important things that this country's ever done, right? And it's been funded not by government. This has been done by private individuals. Okay, this is one of the most mind-bendingly important investigation this country's ever had, and yet our press remains silent on it. And I mean, this is just astonishing. GB News should be all over this, all over.
Absolutely, they can't, can they?
No.
So GB News, you're not actually a news channel, are you? Let's get it right. I mean, come on, at least let's be fair. We all watch a bit of GB News. I like many of the presenters, and they're kind of like on our side, right? But at the end of the day, this is not a real people's channel. This is, and GB News, here's another thing I've noticed with GB News. We all know, right, that Ofcom insist they have to fulfill the quota of lefties, right? But do they really have to include people like Scarlett Maguire, monster raving loonies of the left, who are put on that show, in my humble opinion, to do nothing more than raise the temperature of the people that he's watching. If you're going to have a lefty on, have a sensible lefty on. I mean, there are actually a few out there. Someone that makes a bit of sense, someone that you can at least puts up, a reasonable argument or a debate. Hold on one second, mate. Sorry. Just dropping a quick message. There we go. Howard Cox. Yeah, sorry, just dropping a message to Howard Cox there. Yeah, I want to get Ben on next week. He can go through it all, and but this is, I think, today a big day. Farage is punch drunk on his own popularity. I don't think he'll deliver. He'll stand down for Zia. And this, Nelly, I think you're absolutely on the money there. And this is the danger. And this is why advance is so important.
It is. I mean, I have said to people, and I'll say it over and time again, even if you are going to be voting for reform, you need to join advance. Okay, don't join reform. You need to join advance, because advance will hold reform's feet to the fire. It's happening now. It's happening in this by-election. Okay, coming up in Manchester. By Manchester, that's where the real fight is at the moment. That's going to be the most interesting part of all this. I mean, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed there will be enough of a... Will Matt Goodwin get in? I don't know. I don't know. It depends on a few things in the mood there. It depends also, incidentally, on the tactical voting of the left up there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah.
There's too many factors at play. But hopefully, what we need to hope is that Advance get a good showing. Just a bit, just to appear there, just to say, okay, well, we even, and to be honest, even if they don't get a good show, look, Reform have got behind them. They got GB News. This is going to be all over the news in Manchester. They know who Matt Goodwin is. Whereas, Buckley is not going to be in the same position in terms of his public profile. He's not going to have that.
But he's very well known up there. He's very well known.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a genuine local lad. I mean, this is the way I see it. For anyone up there that is going to have a vote in that area. I mean, this is like a smaller club going to. We got another surprise guest. Let's have a little look. Hold on 1 second. Can we add to the stage? Let me remove the comments. It's Sarah White. Evening, Sarah.
Hi,
Evening, Sarah.
how are you? Evening.
Very well. How did you go today, Sarah?
Of course I did.
Oh, I knew you did. I was just being polite. Yeah. We've got a bit of nasty feedback coming through there. I don't know if you've got any earphones about, Sarah, have you? Or if you can turn the volume down a little bit. I'm getting a lot of bounce
I'm in
back.
the toilet.
Oh, well, that's why.
How about now?
Oh, you're still at the event,
I'm in
are
the
you?
toilet. Because I'm at the party. What?
You're still at the event?
Yes, I'm handing out tokens.
Well, come on, Sarah, show us around. What's going on?
Right, hang on. Right, I'll take you to. Do you want me to take you actually to the event?
Walk us around the dinner. Let's have a little look. Let's see what. Is Richard at the table by any chance? I want to see what he's eating.
No, he's not eating. He's drinking. Richard's drinking.
Oh, is he?
Oh,
get him on the phone.
Sorry. Nearly fell over. Right, Richard's actually drinking, so we're
Let's have a
bringing you
little
down.
look.
Sorry.
Now, this is behind the scenes stuff. Look.
Hang on.
So,
Yeah,
what did you think of the day? What did you think of the day in general, Sarah? Did you enjoy it?
Thought it was really, really good. I thought everyone who spoke really well, and it was just so nice to be in it. The venue was stunning. It was a very, very patriotic British venue. It was the Emmanuel Centre, and just everything about it just oozed Britishness. It was so nice.
Very nice, very nice. What? There was some handsome chap that lives in Spain that came on via video link. Did he get a good reception?
Yeah. He got an amazing reception. I reckon he was the best of the day, to be honest.
I was waiting. Maybe there might even be a bit of booing.
We know exactly who that was. Come on.
So,
as if he was going to get any booing.
Oh, you never know. You never know. What did you make of Ben's speech? A lot of people, Sarah, are describing it as one of the best political speeches they ever heard.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, if you really are patriotic to this country, he said and ticked every single box you could possibly want from a political leader. So I just think if people watch and they want to know what Advance really stands for, just see what Ben said today, and surely every single person will buy into Advance UK.
Yeah, it'd be difficult not to, wouldn't it? Sarah, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to let you go because the picture's not brilliant. I know you're having a lovely time there. We'll see you soon. All the best, Sarah. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That is Sarah White. Thank you so much for that, Sarah. Good to see her. She's been working very hard as well. Guys, look, one of the things that you can do if you want to join this battle, the first thing that you need to do is running across the bottom of the screen right now, register to vote. Because believe it or not, Richard, there will be people sitting there watching this stream tonight that agree with everything that we're saying. They'll agree with everything that Ben's saying. They'll be going, come on, lads, do your best. Oh, hold on. I'm not registered to vote. So register to vote, please.
Yeah. Yeah, it's by the way, on Ben's speech, I did get something from Jeff earlier. I know he's recorded the whole thing, I think, and I'm not sure if he's going to be putting that up himself at some point tomorrow, maybe. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to hearing that whole thing. Hopefully, he's got the audio okay on it, and yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was. I'm assuming there was aside from the live stream, if it was actually fully recorded. Was it recorded aside from the live stream feed? Do you know?
Sorry, so that bit again, Richard. I was just reading some of the comments. Sorry.
Yeah, just wondering if it was actually fully recorded. If the event was fully recorded aside from.
Well, the good news is they can't hack into someone's cameras, so that the event will have been recorded. But unfortunately, very mysteriously, and I mean, it's the same as the odds basically of a jet with two engines, both engines going down at the same time at the same moment. Very, very slim.
Yeah.
So we don't know what happened there, but I've spoken to the team, the media team at Advance. They're going to give us access, obviously, to that footage, and then we can get it up. We can, we can examine it a little bit more closely, and it'll all go from there. Right, let's have a little look. 1,771 people watching. If you haven't already done so, please give us a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to Jeff's channel, where Richard appears on a daily basis, it is Jeff Taylor, the one and only Jeff Taylor. Please nip over there and subscribe as well.
I'm doing my own channel a bit now as well. A bit of a plug, I suppose.
Give it a plug.
yeah, it's called Richard Unleashed. It's called, and I've just started doing some uploads on that. And well, I've had it for a while, but I decided to go back to it. But obviously, I'm still continuing with the Jeff Taylor channel. Going to be working on, live streams. It's remarkable. I'm doing a live stream at the moment because I've been quite ill. I was back in hospital. Long story, in and out. So I've been sort of helping Jeff with the videos a bit more than anything, and focus on videos because these long live streams, they take it out of you day in, day out. Yeah. People don't realize psychologically this is poor us.
There you go. So it's running across the bottom of the screen there. Richard Unleashed. I've spelled that wrong, haven't I? Let's have a look. Oh dear.
Unleashed. Unleashed, yeah, I'm unleashed as well.
that will teach me to do things on the fly, won't it? There you go. Let me have another go. I'm sure most people know how to spell unleashed, except for this idiot. That's what happens. Let's have another go, shall we?
That's the one.
There we go. Richard Unleashed. So if you haven't done so already, drop Richard a subscribe over his channel, because if you're anything like me, I always enjoy watching Richard and Jeff. When they're a team, they're like, the other half of me and Richard whole. It's like we have you guys playing more than anyone. I'll tell you that now. Well, my wife does. So there you go.
Yeah, well, it's vice versa. I genuinely listen to your show more than any other, and I also listen to Richard as well. As well, because I got to say, I went the other night. I was in a bit of a dark place, I can tell you. The other night, it was not in a good way. And Richard's live stream was on, and again, it was a very Christian live stream. I needed that. He has no idea how much I needed to hear that. It was very profound. So you guys, yourself and Richard Inman, incredible work that you're doing. Yeah.
Well, we all, I consider, and I honestly mean this, I consider anyone that does anything to help an important part of the jigsaw puzzle, and that's because people have their limitations, don't they? People can only do certain things. They might be in a job where if they was to reveal themselves, they're going to lose their job. They might have a disability. They can't get out. So, if people are watching, if people are subscribing, if people are even giving us a thumbs up, that helps with the algorithm. If they're able to join Advance UK, if they're able to do some leaflet distribution, or, whatever you can do, we're all part of that team. And that's the most important thing. Yeah, it's absolutely looking like sabotage, and I'm hoping that the authorities will get involved and get to the bottom of who was behind that. I think it's taught us a lesson that next time we're going to have to do things even more covertly, which is outrageous, absolutely outrageous. This wasn't a simple live stream like you do from your mobile or whatever, where they can't cut it unless they jam the signal. There were cables involved, blah blah blah. So this was this to me sounds almost like a plot to sabotage this stream today, which is very concerning. Right, Richard, thank you so much, my friend. I'm going to wrap this up in a moment, so I will let you go, my friend. Thank you for joining me. We're just
no worries. Thank you, Paul.
Read this one out without having a clear out of the civil service. I fear we will not succeed. There is, I believe, one political chance. Thank you very much for that. Segan, I can't pronounce that one. Can you pronounce that one for me? Siganokana.
I need extra glasses on here. I need the double glasses on here.
Always like to read the name out, but
Siganokan.
Yeah,
that sounds well. Siganokan.
It's a good name. I always like to read the names out, but I tell you, when you're struggling to read them, you think, "Oh God, what am I going?" How am I going to get around that one? Right, Richard, thank you so much for joining this evening,
welcome,
mate. I really appreciate it. God bless you, mate. Have a great week, and we'll see you back soon with Jeff, no doubt. I'll pop you out the studio. Thank you, mate. Take care.
Take care. Cheers, mate. Bye now.
That is the wonderful Richard, one of the genuinely good guys on the scene. Don't forget to pop over and subscribe to Richard Unleashed. I'm going to be wrapping this up in just a moment. Where have I gone? Hold on one moment. There you go. I'm back. Sorry about that. Fiddling around with the settings in the back. Before I go, I'm going to play my speech today. For those that haven't seen it, it seemed to be received okay. If I can find it, where have I put it? It's somewhere in the back here. Where did I put it? Well, maybe I didn't put it in the studio. Let's have a look. Hold on one second. I'm sure most of you have actually I'm just uploading it so I can play it before we go. As I say, most of you would have seen it. If you haven't, I'll pop it up and you can have a look. I really appreciate everyone watching tonight. I'm really sorry about the live stream that didn't materialise earlier on. Obviously, very, very annoying for myself, very annoying for Advance UK. But there were some shenanigans going on, it appears, during the day at the event. Last of the comments tonight. 16,000 were watching across all Richie and Rogue's platform. Yeah, there was a huge audience and a huge appetite for this today, a huge appetite. Great to see. GB News in hock with reform. Well, we've known that for some time, haven't we? When this video finally decides to upload, I will play it. Should be almost there. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I'd really appreciate it if you would. We need to raise Nick Buckley's profile on all social media platforms, absolutely. So if you've got a social media presence, please get out there and promote Nick's campaign up there in Gorton and Denton. Right, that video is now ready to go. So I will play out with this tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And I will see you soon. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my absolute honour to have been asked to address such a wonderful audience today. And I thank Ben Habib and my fellow Advanced UK members for this opportunity. Now, the amazing people of our United Kingdom have always risen to the toughest of challenges. No task has ever been too great. No order has ever been too tall. And behind our uniqueness as a people, our success, our bravery and stoicism is a very special type of human being. And we often, and quite rightly, celebrate what us British have given to the world. But we rarely recognise the hands that built our nation in the first place and then fought and died to retain it for future generations. Those are the hands of our wonderful and quite unique working class. In modern times today, it's our bricklayers, plasterers, labourers, emergency service workers, those who sweep our roads to keep them clean, and the men and women who rise at 4 AM to go to work in the cold and rain every single morning that are no longer celebrated or given the respect that they truly deserve. And in years gone by, it was the working class English longbowmen who saw off the French and who enjoyed their work so much that they managed to drag it out for 100 years. The working class heroes of Waterloo and Trafalgar, and those who gave their lives in their thousands in the fields of Flanders and on the beaches of Dunkirk and Normandy. The working class blood of our brave servicemen and women from 2 world wars that included my own grandfather. Yes, he too was one of that lot. And we should never forget nor underestimate their contribution to our nation, for it is the working class who keep our country alive. They keep it functioning and they keep it moving for those that have betrayed them. But times are changing at last in Advanced UK, and with our amazing leader Ben Habib at the helm, finally we have a political party that truly recognises, respects and indeed celebrates the crucial contribution of these proud men and women, both past, present and future. Advanced UK really is the People's Party. It's yours, it's mine, it's ours, and it loves the working class people of our nation.